Sunday, April 26th, 2026, the first Sunday after the NFL draft. Tonight we have. What am I doing? Oh, there. Damn it. Come on, go live. There we go. Tonight we have Derek Laughlin and my usual co-host, Mr. Wayne Lynch. And I got to mute that. All right. And we are here live. Come on now. Are you not connecting? I need Facebook. Come on. Go. There. God damn.
Not connected yet.
Facebook is pissing me off.
Me as well.
It pisses a lot of people off.
There it goes. There it goes. All right. We're live. See, it's live now. Good deal. We're going to share this. Where is the share button? There it is. God. I can't spell. There we go. All right. And we are live, gentlemen. Oh, God. It's like a friggin' it's a major task to get this thing going on the social sites once it starts. I got to change the Facebook link every week as well as the Instagram, so I got to make sure I get it all right. Anyway, we are a day removed from the NFL draft. Derek, I'm going to go to you on this. What did you overall think about the draft and what teams did? Not necessarily your team, but all the other teams as far as overall is concerned.
Well, I mean, we talked about a lot on the draft show, the lack of trades at the beginning of the draft. What I thought was funny is we talked about how there were no trades at all. We got off the air, and then like 6 trades happened, bang, 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 at the end of the draft.
The Browns had a ton of trades. The Browns did a ton of trades in the draft.
But I think what you saw is what we talked about. It was going to be small trades, teams moving up from 24 to 20, teams giving up some 5th-round picks to make a few moves. The consensus on this draft was that it was a weaker draft than some of the previous ones.
Yes.
And next year has 4 quarterbacks that might go in the top 15. We don't know if that's how it'll play out, but that's kind of the thinking right now. And so I think most teams did not want to give up 1st-round picks for next year, and most teams didn't see the value in moving up. So we saw teams doing the best they could with the draft class that was there, trying to fill needs and hanging on to their draft capital for next year. But it still produced a lot of excitement. The biggest surprise to me was the Rams at 13 drafting Simpson. That was the biggest story of the draft.
Well, it's another situation where you can compare that to the Jordan Love draft back in the day. But the difference here is that the Rams told Stafford they were going to do it, as opposed to telling opposed to telling Aaron Rodgers they weren't good, not telling Aaron Rodgers they were going to do it at the time.
Well, a little bit different circumstance. Love, I think people thought was going to go higher, and the Packers ended up having to trade up to get him. So I don't think the Packers knew they were going to take Love heading into that draft. I think things just kind of played out that way. With this one, I think the Rams figured that Simpson was going to be around at 13, and they kept their cards close to their chest. So nobody, if anybody else did want Simpson, nobody knew they needed to trade up in front of the Rams to get him.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I get a good pick for the Rams, whether it's surprised or not. I mean, Stafford is 38, 39.
Going on 38. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I mean, granted, he's coming off an MVP season, so he's not past his prime. I mean, he's not going to be going anywhere, but that gives Ty a couple of years to be under Stafford to learn and to be ready when the time comes for him to start.
Right.
Not only Stafford, but also McVay.
Yes.
McVay didn't look real happy with the pick.
No, he did not.
That press conference, he looked like he was at a dentist appointment getting some wisdom. Well, I saw a stat. The last time that a quarterback won MVP of the league and his team drafted a quarterback in the first round of the following draft after he won MVP was Bart Starr in 1966. That's how long you have to go back for that to have happened. The Packers took a
50
quarterback in the
years.
first round of the 67 draft. Yes.
Yeah, 60 years, Wayne. Yes. I will be
Yeah,
60
what I say,
in September, and I was
50,
born.
yeah.
I was born in 66, so yes, it would be 60 years. Thank you very much.
The sad part is I was born in 64. Apparently, I don't know how old I am.
Yeah, whatever.
But I saw some people knocking the pick. They thought that the Rams reached for him, and I think they did. But I mean, here's the thing: is they're not going to be bad enough next year where they're going to be able to get one of those 4 quarterbacks unless
Right.
they traded like their whole draft, like the Saints did with Ricky Williams. So they're not in the market for a quarterback next year.
Yeah. How'd that work out for the Saints?
Right. Right. Well, Iron Mike's last move in the NFL, basically.
Yes. Did ya?
So they're not in the market for a quarterback next year. This year, they're not going to get Simpson in the second round. He wasn't going to last that long, and it probably would have been more expensive for him to trade up from the second round to the end of the first round to get him than just taking him with the 13th overall pick. And that's where I feel like these draft gurus kind of mess things up. It's like, okay, you might take a guy 20 picks too high, but if that's who you want and he's not going to be there by the time you pick next, you get the player you want and you have a plan to go ahead and develop him. We need to evaluate this pick in 5 years.
Right.
Once the Rams have to pick up the first year option, once Stafford is either retired or has been traded or moved on, and once we've seen Simpson and whether he's going to be part of the Rams' long-term plans, that's when you evaluate the pick. Now, I mean, they got the quarterback they wanted. Now it's time for him to implement what they.
Yep. I agree. I'm with you on that.
Derek said his surprise was Simpson going at 13. My surprise was a quarter of the league stepped out of the first round. 8 teams didn't even bother to. They decided to move down in the draft and move out of the first round. So that to me was more surprising than anything.
Definitely. But again, I think that speaks to what people thought of this draft class. I
was going to say the same thing. Yeah, this draft was not strong. There was a lot of O linemen. There were a lot of a lot of defensive players as well that were high. But other than that, it was not a spectacular draft full of talent. It really wasn't.
Well, I listened to the GM shuffle the week before the draft, and that's got Ross Tucker and Marty. I can't remember his last name, but he used to be a GM for the Panthers. And they were talking about how many players they had a first-round grade on in this draft, and one of them had 12 and the other had 14.
Yeah.
And so that to me tells me what Buffalo was thinking, where they're like, we don't have anybody valued as a first-round pick
Right,
at
and
this level right now.
that's less than half of the picks in the draft, first round.
Right.
So yeah, I mean.
So it only figures that the Jets would draft 3 times in the first round in the worst draft class there is. So then you wonder why this team never wins any games.
Oh, good God.
I heard somebody say as the Jets are just doing jet-like things. And so I believe it.
Well, let's hope Aaron Glenn can do something with who the guys he picked with. And I mean, I don't want the Jets to be good because I hate Mike Greenberg, so I'm rooting for his misery. I do like Rich Eisen, but I prefer to see Mike Greenberg miserable as opposed to Rich Eisen being miserable. So I'm going to go with that.
You got a lot of vim and vitriol there, Scott.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? ESPN has been ostracized and has been criticized for their coverage of the draft, how far behind they were the entire first round. I always watch NFL Network in the draft because that's always the prime show when it comes to the NFL. Granted, yes, they're part of ESPN now, but the guys on NFL Network are good and they know what they're doing. And whereas ESPN has 20,000 different freaking sports they got to cover, the NFL Network only covers one, and that allows them to focus on just the NFL. So NFL Network's coverage was much better than ESPN.
Rich Eisen is an all-time great at that job, and
Absolutely.
Jeremiah Johnson is really good at what he does. I'd much rather listen to Jeremiah Johnson's takes than Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper just is
Mel Kiper's an
absolutely
idiot.
clueless.
Kiper's an idiot.
He got in on the ground level as a draft guru back before there was one, and he's just basically rode that for however many years he has.
Right.
And
he literally has been grandfathered in.
Yes.
Yeah. Right place, right time, and he ran with it. And good for him. I mean, and he's got a good TV personality where he, says hot takes, and and that's fine for some people. I just want good analysis with the draft. I don't need a
He's
bunch
got
of
good
hot
hair,
takes.
Derek.
He's got great hair.
good hair.
Yeah.
So that's probably another reason why. they
As the
keep him
kids
around.
say, he got some nice lettuce.
Yes. Ooh,
I was having to talk Scott off the ledge though during the draft show because he just about lost it when they traded down from 6 to 9. He was not happy while that was going on.
But you know what? I was happy with the number 9 pick, the offensive lineman. I mean, he can rotate on the entire line. He can play right tackle. He can play left tackle. We got a center, and the kid from Florida has played primarily left tackle his entire college career. So it's going to be fun watching in training camp. Who's going to get that left tackle job?
Well, Derek, I'm disappointed I missed the show now.
Because I was miserable and going off and just crashing my,
Yeah.
binge drinking as I was going through this.
I kept telling him, I'm like, there's not that many teams that need offensive tackles between there. I'm like, you're fine. You're going to get the same tackle. And he picked that. When he was upset, they only got a 3rd round pick. I'm like, it's one of the weakest drafts there is. I'm like, you're not getting premium real estate for drafting.
I tend to overreact when it comes to the Browns. You know that, Derek.
I do. I've come to learn that. But I think the Browns. I think they did great. They picked up draft picks and they got Spencer Fano, which was the Outland Trophy winner, and a great guy to start building the line around. Casey Concepcion. Then they waited on the wide receiver, and then Denzel Boston. We were debating about whether they were going to take Boston or Concepcion, and they got both.
Yes.
And
Concepcion has some drop issues, but that can be corrected. I'm not too worried about it.
Plus, he's a hell of a punt returner.
Yes, Boston.
Yeah.
Boston will be a good punt returner. So yeah, I mean, and then you got the safety out of Toledo, which is a good pick as well.
Yeah. I had it going in the first round toward the end of the first round.
Warren out of Toledo. He's a very strong safety. Pairing him with Delpit and the other, all the other guys in that defense is going to be a good thing. We got Austin Barber tackle. Like I said, he's spent most of his career on the left side on the left tackle position. God knows the Browns need a good left tackle because they don't have one. They haven't had one in years. And then the center, Parker Brailsford out of Alabama, that was a strong pickup as well for the Browns. I mean, Andrew Berry had another great draft this year. He had a great draft last year. 3 or 4 players out of that draft were starters on day one. And they got Justin Jefferson and Alabama linebacker. Another good draft. I think he's a good player as well. They got a tight end. Now, this guy is not a blocker, but he's a good receiving tight end. That's Joe Royer out of Cincinnati. He's not a good blocker. Then one of the comments that was made was the next person he blocks will be the first person he blocks. Yeah. Okay. And then this was the interesting one to me, Derek. Taylon Green out of Arkansas, the quarterback.
I saw that. I mean, he's a 6th round pick. Shedeur Sanders should be able to hold him off, or are they going to go with
Shut up.
Watson?
Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
This is your team, not mine. I didn't sign him.
He's number 4. Number 4.
Number 4.
Okay. But Taylon Green can be. He's going to be a gimmick guy. Short yardage, goal line. He's got great speed. He just needs pocket work, and that's where his weakness is in the pocket.
His weakness is throwing the football. He's got I'm looking at a scouting report on him. He's got an elongated throwing motion. I mean, that's why I don't think this is a pick for this year. I think this is a guy that could sit there for maybe a couple of years and rework his throwing motion and then do something. But the thing is, when you're a 6th-round pick, you usually don't have a couple years. It's not like a first round. Like Aaron Rodgers, the Packers had to rework his throwing motion for a couple of years, but they had Favre in front of him. Rodgers was a first-round pick. They'll give you time as a first-round pick to rework your motion, throwing motion, especially in that situation. As for Taylor Green, I mean, in a couple of years, nobody is going to remember who he is if he doesn't get on the field.
Well,
So,
and my question is this: Andrew Berry said they're going to keep all 4 quarterbacks on the roster, including Dylan Gabriel. I think, to be honest, I think Green is going to be the number 3 quarterback over Gabriel. Gabriel has a lot of issues. He's not fast. He's not smart. He doesn't have a strong arm, in my opinion. He's short,
and he's not tall.
No, he's short.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Taylor Green, I think he's 6'4". I think is what the stat line says on this kid.
6'6", and 227 pounds.
Yeah, he's 6'6". So I mean, and he had a good season.
I don't think they're going to keep 4 quarterbacks. I think Gabriel is either going to get traded or released. There's not many teams that keep 4 quarterbacks. One of the teams that famously did it was Belichick with Brady, because Brady looked really good during training camp, and they were worried. They didn't think he was ready to start that first year, and they didn't want to move on from Bledsoe yet, but they thought if they released him, he was going to get picked up by somebody else. So Belichick basically wasted a roster spot, holding on to Brady that year, which is huge for him because he likes to have versatile players that can play multiple positions and give him flexibility with game plans. And he did that. I mean, to me, I mean, you're saying either Green or Gabriel is somebody like Brady, where you're afraid if you release him, you're not going to be able to sign him to a practice squad, something like that. I think they could cut Gabriel and bring him back on the practice squad. I think they could trade him for a 7th-round pick. Maybe they could just release him and not be worried if they lose him. I think this
Atlanta can. I'm sure Stefanski could want him.
Oh, down in Atlanta?
Yes.
Well,
I don't know about that. It seems like he didn't want him when he was in Cleveland. So.
No, he did what he took him over Shador. So I mean,
Tua might have a concussion by week 3 of the preseason. So they might need to get somebody in there that knows the system. So.
And Dylan is a left-hander, so you never know.
Yeah,
right. And Penix is left-handed too, isn't he?
Yes.
And also Tua.
And Tua's left-handed too. Hey, I think we found his landing spot. Bring him to Atlanta.
We decided he's going to Atlanta.
Yep.
I'm going to predict that before training camp's over, he's going to get traded, or after training camp, when the season starts, he's going to get traded to Atlanta. I foresee it. I want it, and I will make it happen by will alone. But again, and the Browns picked up 7 players, undrafted free agents. Running back David Booth, wide receiver Aaron Anderson, edge Logan Fano, which is the brother of their number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Defensive ends Tyreek Sapp. Is that Sapp's little brother or is his son? I'm not sure.
No idea.
Is he even related to Warren Sapp? I don't know.
No idea.
Michael Coates Jr. cornerback, and then another cornerback, DeCarlos Nicholson, and they actually brought in a punter with Westfall. I don't think West is going to do anything good. We've already got a great punter in Cleveland anyway. So, I mean, overall, I'll give the Browns draft an A-. I won't go as high as an A or A+, only because it's the Browns, and that's just the way it is. So.
Well, the Browns, I mean, all joking aside, the Browns defense has not been the problem the last few years.
And that's why Andrew Berry went heavy on offense in the draft itself.
Yep.
Because they knew they had to redo the entire offensive line. From scratch. They had to redo the entire offensive line. I still haven't heard anything about Wyatt Teller, if he's going to stay or retire. I haven't heard anything about that either. So, who knows? We'll see. Or Conklin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just as a heads up, Johnny Manziel 2.0 got an invite from the Ravens.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
Diego Pavia.
Yes, Diego Pavia did get an invite from the Ravens. He
Was
wasn't drafted, and
was not drafted at all.
So you know what? The kid just needs to shut his freaking mouth. That's the problem.
Especially when you're a quarterback, it helps. I mean, everybody wants to be like Deion Sanders or Chad Johnson at the quarterback position. And it's like that. That's fine if you're a receiver, defensive back. You can be a little more vocal. But I mean, NFL teams want their quarterbacks kind of seen and not heard. They don't want them to be very controversial. They
just want to hear you
boring is better. Yep.
Just want to hear you on the field calling out the plays.
Yep. Well, you figure the quarterback is the CEO of the team, kind of, as far as the players go. I mean, he's kind of the face of your franchise, and there's a certain level of maturity you want at that position.
That's why I think Fernando Mendoza, I think his first year will be rather rocky, but under the tutelage of Tom Brady, I think that was a good pick for the Raiders.
Don't forget the Raiders. You know who the Raiders got to start next year?
Primetime
Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
So
I'm saying, under Tom Brady's tutelage, I mean, well, and then Kirk Cousins until he gets concussed in the second game, and then
but yeah, I think Cousins is going to be the starter for the first year that for Mendoza, so Mendoza can learn. But the Raiders are still going to suck, guys.
I don't think the first year. I think the first month. I think Mendoza makes 12 starts easily.
Okay.
This year.
All right.
But 12? I was thinking 8.
8. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's between 8 and 12. Like you said, depends on how long it takes Cousins to get hurt. So
I'm laughing, and I shouldn't, but that is funny.
I mean, I've always been a believer. If you got a veteran like that, start the veteran, because that way, if things kind of go off the rails a little bit, it takes all the pressure off the rookie. If Mendoza comes into a 1-4 situation, nobody's expecting him to be the savior at that point. And then if he's struggling, nobody's saying go back to Cousins because
right.
You've seen what Cousins has done. That's the problem, is if you go with Mendoza in week 1 and he struggles for the first month, then you're going to get people wanting to see Cousins because, everybody thinks they can make the playoffs in September and October, and you don't want to bench Mendoza.
I'm sorry. The Raiders are not making the playoffs next year. I'm just saying. Okay.
No, and I don't think that's their goal. I think their goal is to win 6 or 7 games and leave that season knowing they got it right at quarterback, knowing that they can go and talk to free agents and say, hey, come and play with Mendoza. We're building something here. Kind of what the Bears did with Caleb Williams. That was kind of their goal, and they ended up being a year ahead of schedule because it is so much easier for the Bears to sign free agents now,
right.
with Caleb having gotten the playoffs, won a playoff game. And look good. Nobody wants to go to a team where there's a whole bunch of uncertainty at quarterback, and because that means uncertainty in head coaches and all kinds of things that free agents that have choices don't want to be a part of.
Right.
Coaches, GMs, the whole organization, basically.
Right.
I'm a little pissed off that we traded like I had anything to do with it. D Winters to Dallas. That kind of pissed me off. I mean, granted, we got Dre Greenlaw back, but D Winters, man, he played ball this past year with all the injuries, and I was a little disappointed with that one.
Yeah.
Your brother Tim's in the house, Wayne. And
thank you for letting me know, since my Facebook is acting stupid. I don't know why.
Tim's here and Brett's here.
Sweet. What up, big bro?
But yeah, overall, it was, again, this was a very weak draft overall. There were no big splashes outside of the fact that what the Rams did with Ty. I don't know that there were any surprises. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know that there were any surprises.
I was a little surprised the Cardinals took Jeremiah Love. It wasn't as big of a surprise as Simpson, but
there were a lot of people saying that the Cardinals were going to take him in the draft before the draft happened. There was a lot of people that said they were going to take him.
I had a lot of people having him go to the Titans too, and I guess what surprised me is once the Jets passed on Reese, you got a 20-year-old defensive end that projects to be a perennial Pro Bowler there. Arizona had a terrible defense last year. I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't like Love. I think Love could be a fantastic player, but I look at when Chris Johnson set the record for yards from scrimmage for the Titans. Weren't they like a 7-9 team that year? It's like, even if Love goes out there and has 2,000 yards from scrimmage and 15 touchdowns, do we think Arizona's going to win any more than 6 or 7 games?
No, and that falls on the fact who their quarterback is. The quarterback is not that great.
Right. And he's thinking about holding out Jacoby Brissett. So they can't come to terms on a contract. And not only that, the Cardinals had more holes to fill than just getting a running back.
Yes.
Right. And they took Carson Beck in the 3rd round in case Brissett, they can't come to terms with him right away, and it extends further than they want. But I mean, to me, it's not that I don't like Love. I think he gives them a great weapon, gives them a ground game, but they don't really have a good line for him to run behind. They tried to address that with Chase Besantis in the 2nd round, who's a guard. But the thing that always makes me nervous about drafting a running back that high is by the time you get ready to make the playoffs, you've used all his good years, and now he's on the downslope. And if there was no other player there that made sense, then I'd be like, okay, take the best available player. Don't overthink it. But that's a big gamble to pass up on Reese. I think they're going to regret that.
Yeah, once the Jets took Bailey at 2, I was absolutely guaranteed in my mind that Arizona was going to take Reese at 3.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was surprised the Titans passed on him at 4. I think that was the other surprise in the draft is that the Titans went with the wide receiver instead of
they went with Carnell Tate.
They went with Carnell Tate. Yeah. Yep. And again, that's one where some people were saying they reached, and I'm like, well, if he's the best player on your board, or if you wanted to get a wide receiver, Carnell Tate wasn't going to be there in the 2nd round for him. They weren't going to be able to trade back into the back of the 1st round to get him. So, if that's who they had their eye on, then that's who you take. But again, they have a first-year coach in Sala who's defensive oriented, and the Giants getting Reese, I think, was one of the steals of the draft. That the Giants didn't even have to trade up; that they just sat there at 5 and were able to get.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants had a really good draft. John Harbaugh's first draft was pretty good.
Yeah, I like what the Giants did for what I was aware of since like I said, since I was busy doing other things last week. But the bits and pieces of it I did catch as far as the draft is concerned. Yeah, getting him at 5, getting Reese at 5 was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, Brett brings up some facts. 9 offensive linemen were drafted in round 1. 9 tight ends came out of the board in the first 3 rounds, and 13 edge rushers in the first 70 picks.
Yep.
Well, the one thing that I heard a lot about is that teams are wanting to explore that 3 tight end package, and and that there's going to be a move back toward that, which is kind of interesting that that's happening. But
well, the Rams started that trend, so
that's. Yep.
And this is a copycat league, so there you go.
And McVay is as respected as any head coach in the league for his offensive mind. So there's a lot of people, if it works for him. My whole thing is it works for them because you have 2 elite wide receivers and an MVP quarterback, and that's why it works. It kind of reminds me of in the NBA with Golden State when they had Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Curry. And it's like, oh, well, we should all shoot 43-pointers a game. It's like, well, you guys don't all have 3 of the best 3-point shooters in the history of the league.
Right.
And that's kind of this 3 tight end package. It's like, okay, well, how many people have Nacua, Adams, and Stafford on their team to run that 3 tight end package with? That's why it works.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But a lot of tight ends went, and that's why is there are teams that are going to be looking to put that package in, and I mean, if you have the right personnel, it gives you a lot of flexibility because those tight ends can catch routes and they can also run block, and there's a lot of play calls you can call out of it. So I get it. What
did you think of the Packers draft, Derek?
Well, I liked it because our first round pick was Micah Parsons, and that was a good first round pick.
Right.
For him. But outside of that, I mean, Brandon Sissy is a nice cornerback that could play in the nickel for him this year, and the Packers don't have a lot of depth at tight end, so I think he's going to have a role right away. Chris McClellan out of Missouri is a defensive tackle. They're switching to a 3-4 defense this year, and so they need to get some personnel. Dennis Sutton out of Penn State as an edge rusher. I really liked him. I don't think Penn State used him very well, and my friend Nick Perino, who was on that very first draft show that we did, he kind of came in for a little bit back in 2016 when we did that. He was texting me. He said, "You're going to be really happy with him. He should be contributing this year." So, and then they got a kicker in Trey Smack in the 6th round, and Packers had all kinds of special teams problems last year, and McGinnis was not very good in the playoff game. So I think they needed at the very least bring some competition.
Packers, to be honest, the Packers have had special teams issues for a couple of years now. I mean, it goes back a few years when them having special teams problems.
Yeah, but last year it was greatly pronounced.
Yeah,
it's been horrible. I mean, you look at the Seattle game, the 2014 championship game, that was lost on a special team blunder. I mean, the special team failures is a culture in Green Bay. It's part of being a fan there is just accepting the fact that your special team shits the bed.
All right. And Brett asked why KC would trade a cornerback just to draft one, unless they're trying to be cheap and not pay players.
They're always cheap. They're not. Kansas City does not keep quarterbacks. After their contract is up, they either cut them or they ship them off like they did McDuffie to the Rams.
Yeah.
Look at McDuffie's contract with the Rams and look at what their first round corner is going to have. That's exactly why they did it.
Yep.
So if this cornerback is good in Kansas City in 3 years or 5 years, or whatever his contract is stated, he'll be out of there.
He'll be out of there as well. Yeah. They shuffle cornerbacks in and out like, I don't know, underwear, I guess.
It's just like a factory at cornerback there. They get them, they make them good, and then it's time to pay them. They release them.
Yeah.
They didn't do much for their offense though, and to me, I mean, that says that they're thinking that that last year was somewhat of a fluke, and that now that they have Kenneth Walker, they've addressed the running game and they're going to get back to where they're at. And I don't know. I mean, Kelsey's older and they still don't have the receivers they did when they were the explosive offense.
No, and the fact that Mahomes is coming off a torn ACL, he may not be available week 1. So,
they're thinking last year was an aberration. I'm thinking it's more of a
trend.
Of a trend that's going to continue.
I saw it with Green Bay. They were really good with Favre in the early years, and then once Holmgren left, I mean, there was about 4 or 5 years where they weren't very good there, and they kind of had to transition to the next team. Aaron Rodgers had happened. 2016 was the last year they made the championship game. They missed the playoffs the next 2 years, and they kind of had to retool it. And I think the reality of it is Kansas City's had a great 7-year run where they made 5 Super Bowls and had unprecedented success, but it's. I think that team's run is done, and Mahomes still has a future there, but they're going to have to completely retool the team around him to get back.
And Kelsey's coming back for at least one more year. He's got a wedding to think about this summer, I'm sure, but he's going to come back for one more year at least. So he's long.
It's a bad move on his part, but hey,
I mean, dude. You've got the hottest woman in the world as your fiance. Why would you want to come back and just try to
the hottest woman in the world?
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far.
No.
So, I mean, all right. How about the most successful star in the world? With which she's actually worth more than Kelsey is, for God's sake.
I wouldn't even say most successful female musician. I'll give her that.
Yeah,
I'll give her that.
Yeah,
but the hottest, then no, not even close. Not even close.
All right. Anyway, but
are you a Swiftie, Scott?
No, I'm not. No.
If you are, please don't tell anybody.
No.
Maybe that's what it is. He's got Swifties posters behind those jerseys, and they'll say excited for the show.
No. If it was made before the year 2000, I don't listen to it. Or maybe sorry, you made the year after 2000, I don't listen to it. I'm just letting you know.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
All right. Derek, how do you feel about Ruben Bain Jr. in Tampa?
I like it. I think
That
the
was a
only
good
reason,
move.
yeah, I think the only reason he fell is the arm length, and because his production was outstanding, but his arms were a little bit shorter than what the scouts like. But the production was so good that it wasn't going to keep him out of the first round, and I think Tampa got a good value there. The arm length didn't hurt him at all in college, and I think he'll be fine with that.
It was overblown, is what you're saying.
I think so. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the thing is, there weren't any NFL offensive linemen playing in the ACC, so we'll see how he does against the tougher competition. But I mean, the thing about one of the best things I heard about that is Bill Parcells. Mike Lombardi was talking about it on his podcast. He said, it's fine to take guys where it's an exception, like, oh, this guy's a little shorter, this guy has small hands, or this guy has a. Just keep in mind, if you're always sitting there talking yourself into this, well, this guy is an exception, and you do that at every pick, pretty soon you're going to have a team that's just loaded with exceptions.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want, because you can sit there and you can talk yourself into anybody. You can say, oh, well, Drew Brees had small hands. Drew Brees was short. Look what he did. Well, Drew Brees is one of one. I mean, how many guys are there that are like that? The fact of the matter is most of the quarterbacks are 6'4" to 6'5", 6'6", and they weigh 220 to 240 pounds. And so if you're going to take a guy that's outside that range, you got to sit there and say, what are we going to do so that he can make all the throws? Are we going to move him out of the pocket? What are his strengths? How do we sit there and combat that? You got to have a scheme for that. And, with Bain, the fact is that most defensive linemen that do well have longer arms than that. But I think, Tampa was like, we're not trading up for the guy. We're taking him at the 15th pick, and we're comfortable with that here. And so I think it was perfect what they did. Now, if they would have taken, where you can get yourself into problems is the Giants. Let's say the Giants are like, oh, well, Bain was more productive than Reese. Let's take him there because of the production. That's where you end up making mistakes. But who was Tampa going to take at the 15th spot that was more productive and a better fit for him than what he was? Nobody.
Plus, piggyback on what you said, with Baines not going up against anyone from the ACC that on the offensive side of the ball that actually got drafted, that's more of looking at, well, the competition that he had to deal with as opposed to Reese or Bailey.
Right. And that's why those guys went higher.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they went higher.
And oh, by the way, Scott, my brother said you sound like a Swiftie.
No. Nope. No. No. I do not have any Taylor Swift music on my Amazon Prime music. I don't have any Taylor Swift period at all. So I don't listen to her.
I don't either, but you brought it up. So, hey.
You're the one that called her the hottest woman in the world. So.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Koslow has joined the show.
What up, Ken?
How you doing, Ken?
Been better.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat right away.
Okay.
First of all,
Thanks.
what did you think of the Cowboys draft?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. They got quite a bit of what they needed for defense. The two offensive picks were pretty good, I think.
Stud safety,
But
brother.
Mason-
You got a stud safety out of Ohio State.
Down.
Safety, and I can't wait to see him back there.
Yep.
Because he's been great for the last 2 years. I hope he can keep it up.
Caleb Downs is
But
the real deal, man.
having said that,
He's the real deal.
yeah.
Yep.
And having said that, I'd like to thank Wayne for D.
And I was just
Winters.
going to say,
He was
you
talking
want to
about
thank
it
me
earlier.
now or you want to thank me later? Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about that
We
earlier.
appreciate that much.
Yeah,
obliged.
we talked about that before you came in, or I talked about it, or let's just say I made a 30-second rant about it.
I'll have to catch that on YouTube, I guess.
And now the elephant in the
No, I
room,
was
Ken. Boston Red Sox got rid of their entire coaching staff yesterday.
And then they go out and win today.
yep.
Yes.
After they won yesterday, 17-1.
We won 17-1. Yeah, it's a typical Red Sox thing. You win 17-1 and then fire the manager. So it's I'm really to put it mildly, disgusted with him right now.
I mean, Alex Cora was a great.
Even though they've started.
Alex Cora was a
sorry?
great manager. He really was. He got him a World
He
Series
is a great
in 2018.
manager.
I mean, come on.
He'll land on his feet. He'll land on his feet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he'll find someplace. I mean, I'm hoping maybe Miami Marlins or somewhere outside the American League.
No. I do not want him in Miami. Do not want him in Miami. He might turn that team around. I don't want him in Miami. Might turn that team around.
That's fair. I was thinking more along the lines of him being close to Puerto Rico, but yeah, he's going to find a great place, and Tech will too. I mean, I don't know what to say about it.
I mean, the comment I saw today was that the GM would fire him because he didn't think the talent on the field was not what they were expected. Dude, you put this roster together. Give me a freaking break.
Roster together. Fire yourself.
Yeah,
course,
I believe that was a firing of Cora to save your own behind.
Yeah, general managers
that
just
was
don't
a
fire
firing to
themselves.
save your own ass. That's what that was.
I mean, they're going to put Verlander in another
exactly.
role, but all the other guys they got rid of are lifelong Red Sox players / fans. Give me a freaking break.
Yes.
Jason Varitek, are you kidding me?
You said about him getting another role. He's already turned it down. He said, "Kiss my ass," and I'm out of here.
Walk away.
So, I mean, that's
just walk away.
30
Just
years.
walk away, man.
30 years down the drain for you, right there. That's
Wow.
gratitude for you. But yeah, I'm not real happy. I don't make any bones about it. You cannot win a pennant in April, but you damn sure can lose one. And just look at the way the Orioles started 0-22 one year. Yeah, it's sickening. I mean, it's maddening. I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted. I can do the entire Roget's thesaurus on it, but yeah, I mean, this has not been a good weekend for Boston. Period. I mean, I don't know what the Celtics are doing right now, but the Bruins
Celtics right now beating the hell out of Philly. They're beating the hell out of them. Last time I checked, it was a 17-point lead.
Okay, I guess that's okay.
That's some consolation for you.
Well, I know the Bruins got boat raced, and the Red Sox, of course, won a couple of games, but
yeah, the Celtics are up 56-38 at halftime.
Oh boy, okay. Well, that'll ease a little bit of it off, but
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and the Guardians lost to the Blue Jays today, and the Raptors beat the Cavaliers as well. So I mean, get my teams out of Canada for God's sake, please.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the other end of the baseball spectrum right now, if you will. Braves best record in baseball. Granted, it's only 29 games into the season, but they're 20-9. Have the best run differential and the best record so far. Granted, as we stated, you just stated a few minutes ago, you can't win the pennant in April, but you damn sure can lose it. So, not saying that the Braves are going to win the pennant, but it's nice to have a 7-game lead, 29 games into the season.
Nice start. Yep, absolutely.
I think the only team I saw win a pennant that early was Detroit in '84. That year when they started off like 35-4.
35-4,
And they basically could play 500 ball the rest of the way. And
who was the ace? It was Jack somebody. Who was the guy? Jack who?
Jack Morris.
Jack Morris.
Thank you. Yes.
Jack Morris. Yeah.
Who won one in Detroit?
That was the team that had Jack Morris, Willie Hernandez, Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell.
Sweet Lou.
And Jack
Gibson
pitched. Jack pitched like a 12 or 13 inning game.
Yeah.
In the play.
He pitched a 10-inning game against the Braves in the World Series.
Yeah. I still think that's the best World Series I've ever seen. That Twins Braves won in '91.
It's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah.
Best pitching duel I've ever seen.
Well, that was the Kirby Puckett World Series too.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
That grab on the wall to save the run, and then the home run after that in extra innings. Then Jack Morris 1-0 shutout.
You talk about somebody being bent out of shape for like the next week. That was me.
Well, the Braves, I think, outscored them in
Yeah.
that World Series because that Game 5 they blew them out, and every other game was like a one-run game that was
One-run game,
in
yep.
extra innings.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I
Exactly,
remember that
yep.
World Series win. I was a Braves fan at the time as well, and I hated the Twins, and I still hate the Twins to this day because of that World Series. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
My dad loved to go pheasant hunting in the fall, and so I listened to those games on WCCO radio out in South Dakota, bird hunting out there with my dad. It was the Twins home field announcers. I mean, and that was just amazing listening to those two World Series games on the radio out there.
Well, what's his name? Who pitched the 7th game for the Braves? I'm trying to remember.
Was
Smoltz, wasn't it?
Smoltz, yeah.
Oh,
Smoltz,
Game 7? Yeah,
yeah.
because Lee Brand is the one that gave up that
every
bomb
time-
to Cody Puckett.
Every time he was in the booth with Joe
Buck.
Buck, Buck brought that game up, and I said, "Feel free to kick him in the ass." Tired of hearing it by now.
Yeah, Charlie Lee Brand is the one that gave up that bomb to Kirby
Yeah.
Puckett.
Oh yeah,
Yep. I remember that quite well.
Of course, I
That is
remember it.
that's one of the greatest pitching staffs in the history of baseball, right there,
Oh my God, yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean that's a great pitching staff, and that was before Maddox got there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it
Maddox
was
after
fantastic
that.
before Maddox got there.
Because I think Glavine
was-
was the Cy Young Award winner that year.
Yeah, I think Maddox was still on the Cubs, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was still with the Cubs in '91. And I'm so glad they got him as opposed to Barry Bonds.
Oh God, no
I
kidding.
loved watching Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was my favorite player to watch. I absolutely loved watching Barry Bonds. I mean, he was the original Red Zone. I mean,
Yeah.
because Sports Center, you'd watch that night at late Sports Center, and they would just go out to San Francisco and show his at bats.
Yep.
That's all Sports Center was the Barry Bonds home run network.
Show Barry Bonds and then show McCovey Cove. And
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he changed the rules. The rules were changed because of him with all that armor he had on too when he went up to the plate. He was like, "Hey, hit me! I don't care. I won't feel it."
Well, I think he still has more. He has more intentional walks than the Tampa Bay Devil Rays franchise.
Yeah,
real possibility.
It's going to flip at some point here. I mean, but because they're getting him and he's not, so I mean they'll eventually overtake him. But the fact that is still a stat is it's amazing.
I'll be right back, guys.
So
did
yeah,
you guys,
Ken, at least you have something to cheer about with the Celtics because they're gonna run through Philly like a hot knife through butter.
well, I was figuring that, but is Embiid was supposed to play tonight, isn't he? Is he in the lineup? Joel Embiid.
When Embiid plays, does he really play? I mean,
That's true.
and not because he's not good, but because he might strain his
Yeah,
eyebrow or
that
something, and then have to get put on the injured reserve.
I can't stand him. That dude never plays. He is never available.
Joel Embiid and
He needs
Anthony
to-
Davis. Those are the two most
Yeah.
injured. I mean, weird injuries. Like I strained my fingernail.
Strained
I mean, come on,
unibrow.
I love that meme online.
Strained
With
unibrow.
I love that meme with Anthony Davis online where they have him in the purple suit in the wheelchair. It's Dr. Glass.
Right.
I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to try to
Oh,
track
it's
it down.
great. It's great.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
never ever available.
I mean, Anthony Davis, man, he and Joel Embiid. I don't even know what to say, man. It's like constant injuries.
Yeah, I mean they're great players and they're such unique talents, but I just wouldn't want them on my team because they play half the games and they're never going to be available in the playoffs. I mean that's why the Lakers won that bubble championship is because Anthony Davis got 4 months in between when they stopped playing basketball until they got to the Disney bubble. He would have been healthy. I mean, if they would have played the whole season, he would have been hurt by the second round, and they would not have won the championship that year.
Yeah, true.
It's
I
ridiculous.
hate to
man.
say it, but Kyrie Irving's getting to be the same way. I mean, we played the entire season without Kyrie Irving this year. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, okay, but that's a legitimate injury. I mean, ACL tear
He never.
or Achilles, whatever it was. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
remember
true,
now. But
yeah.
like I said, Anthony Davis
Yeah.
and Joel Embiid, they
Yeah.
have injuries that, just,
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I have back spasms because I sneezed. I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I think Joel Embiid has missed more games than he's played.
He has. But trust the process.
Trust the process. Yes.
I remember.
What is it?
I remember the
Joel Embiid?
Rangers.
Hey, come on now.
I remember the Rangers had a player on their team that strained his ankle ligaments because his shoe came untied on an escalator and he got caught in the escalator. That's about the weirdest injury I've ever seen.
No, the weirdest one, and I can't remember who it is now. I think it was it Hideki Matsui for the Yankees? He strained his shoulder picking up his luggage.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. I was going to say
Somebody, I can't remember
the
Hideki Matsui.
Yeah.
Somebody strained their shoulder picking up their luggage.
Yep.
Well, I remember one that strained his rib cage because he sneezed.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember who it was, but I remember that one as
There was
well.
another Ranger pitcher that cut his finger on a plastic butter knife.
Was that Kenny Rogers?
Was it Kenny Rogers? It may have been.
It might have been. That strikes me. That's the name that sticks out to me with
How
that.
you cut your finger with a goddamn butter knife? I don't understand that.
No, a plastic butter knife.
A plastic
butter
one?
knife.
Seriously?
Plastic one. Seriously.
Hey, those serrated edges can be dangerous.
Oh my
That's
God.
right.
Baseball has the best injuries.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Baseball. Football has the most legit. Football and hockey have the most legitimate injuries.
Right.
Baseball has the most weirdest injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett has a question. Who would we rather have? Who would we rather take? The 98 Braves with a 3.03 ERA as a unit with Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz, or 2011 Phillies featuring a 4 aces rotation of Roy Halladay, Cliff Lear, Cole Hamels, and Roy Oswalt.
Well, you already know what my answer is. So
I know what it is.
I'll
98
recuse
Braves.
myself of this question.
98 Braves.
Yeah, I rooted.
Yeah,
against,
I would take the 98 Braves too. Yeah.
I rooted against the Braves, but I mean that's pitching staff speaks for itself. That's the best
Yeah.
pitching staff
Yeah.
I've ever seen. I know there's
You-
probably better ones from the 70s and 60s, but from what I
Who is
watched,
your baseball team, Derek?
The Brewers.
Brewers? Okay. I didn't know if it was the Brewers or the Cubbies.
No, not the Cubbies. I don't root against the Cubbies. Like when in 16 when they were in the World Series, I rooted.
Shut up, but no. We're not talking 2016. No. We're not going there, Derek. Stop it right there.
Can we go back to 95?
No.
Yeah.
No. The one World Series the Braves won with that rotation in 95 against the freaking Indians. Give me a break.
I try to get to Wrigley once a year at least. Wrigley's just an incredible place to watch a game.
I wish I could go to. That's
baseball
one of my bucket list items is going to Wrigley Field to watch a baseball game.
I am
Yeah.
dying for the Athletics to get to Las Vegas.
Hmm.
Oh no.
So
That's
I
gonna
can
be-
go. So when the Braves come out, when they have interleague every
Yeah.
other year,
There you
that'll
go.
give me a reason to go.
Hey, Scott,
Yeah.
95. We told you should have gotten a live chicken, but
Oh.
hey,
Joe Boo.
no boo.
Oh God.
Did you guys already talk about Eli Heidenreich?
No.
That is the best snapshot moment of the entire draft for me. Is Eli Heidenreich going to the Steelers?
Was he in the Navy player?
Navy player, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I missed
He,
it.
Saluted the mirror, right?
Do what?
He
What happened?
saluted the mirror.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and he that was a hometown pick, and man, he is the real deal. And
Well, and there were 2 players taken in the 7th round, both from Navy. And
Yeah.
they were able to get a deferral on their military service because they were drafted.
yeah,
That's still the most amazing thing to me is that Roger Staubach made the Hall of Fame, not being able to play.
Heisman
coming out of
Trophy winner
Navy.
with Navy. Heisman Trophy winner with Navy.
Yep. and
had to set
then
out 4 years.
set up 4 years before he came back to the NFL to play and still made the Hall of Fame.
And he served in Vietnam.
Yep. He was on a transport boat.
Yep.
Well, who was the baseball player back in the 40s? Was it Stan Musial who missed a few
Ted
years?
Williams.
Ted Williams.
Ted
Oh, Ted Williams. That's what it was. Ted Williams who
Yeah,
missed a few
Ted Williams.
years.
Ted Williams was a
World
fighter
War II.
pilot in World War
Fighter
II.
pilot, yep.
Right. Yeah.
Navy fighter pilot. Flew a number of combat missions.
Yep.
Yeah, because he doesn't have 3,000 hits, and that always surprised me when I saw that he didn't have 3,000 hits. But because even though he batted 400 in a season, he missed so many
Right.
years flying planes instead of hitting baseballs.
He was still the best. He's still the best hitter, in my opinion, to this day.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
between him and Tony Gwynn. It would be,
I was like, I don't know. I gotta say, I never saw Ted Williams play, obviously, but in my lifetime, Tony Gwynn. Tony
yeah.
Gwynn.
But see, Tony Gwynn idolized Ted Williams. I mean, Ted
Yeah.
Williams,
Yeah.
tutored him, and that's the reason. Tony Gwynn was so good.
right.
Freaking Montreal just
Didn't.
scored. It's 1-0 Montreal in the second period.
Oh, I thought that was because I said Tony Gwynn. That's what I thought.
No,
that
it
reaction
was the
was.
Montreal goal.
I'm like, I didn't think that was that hot of a take.
No, Tony Gwynn. I mean, Tony Gwynn was one of the greatest hitters to ever play the game. But I'm still of the opinion that Ted Williams was better because he had a career 400 average. So I mean, but
No, he didn't have a career 400
No,
average. He just
400.
He
He
just
was
hit
the
400
last
in a season.
400 hitter.
he was the last one to hit 400.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. Tony Gwynn struck out 400. What was it? 435 times in his career.
Yeah.
In his career, he struck out 435 times.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever struck out more than 50 times a year.
No.
The two players that you can go online and search are crazy Barry Bonds stats and crazy Tony Gwynn stats. And
Yeah.
some of the things that they say that those guys,
Yeah.
did, it just defies belief. Like my favorite Bonds one was that he was on, what was it? He had more times on base than he had plate appearances for the season. He had 371 plate appearances and 375 times on base. I mean, that doesn't even seem like that's possible.
Yeah, you got to remember in '94 when they had the strike. At the time of the strike, Tony Gwynn was hitting 388.
Yeah.
If they hadn't had the strike, he would have hit 400.
Yep.
He was well on his way because he was heating
Well
up
on
in the
his
second
way.
half of the year.
Yeah.
Of all the things that Barry Bonds did in his career, the one and this is probably the most insignificant thing whatsoever. But when Buck Showalter walked Barry Bonds intentionally with the bases loaded, just so he wouldn't possibly hit a grand slam to tie the game up.
Yep.
Yeah, put the
He
winning
said, "I'll
run
take my
on base,
chances with the next hitter,"
and it worked. They won.
and they won. Yeah.
Yeah. He got away
Greg
with that one.
asked, "Did Mike? Do we think Mike Tomlin will be successful as an analyst?"
Better than Tony Dungy.
Absolutely.
That's the
Absolutely.
bar.
I was so happy. I was so happy to hear NBC released him. Tony Dungy was horrible. Oh my
Yeah.
God. He really was.
They
yeah.
interviewed NBC had Tomlin on their pregame NBA pregame show this afternoon, and he's doing a good job. I mean, he's going to be, his insight is fantastic, and he's going to have some good comments, and I think he'll do a great job.
I
Of
think he
course,
will too.
because I mean, the standard is the standard. He's the one who said it. So
Yep.
there you go.
Right?
Yep.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's going to be fantastic.
He's got a TV like John Gruden. When John Gruden went in the booth, I thought that was a slam dunk. He was going to do well, and that's how I feel about Tomlin. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
He's going to have good insights. He's going to have good takes. He's going to be funny. He's going to be charismatic. He's going to be fun to listen to. I think it's a great.
Well,
great
he's
bet.
also going to be more freed up as an announcer than he was as the coach. He can pretty much say whatever the hell he wants to say as an announcer compared to being reserved as a coach. And he really wasn't reserved, but you guys get my point.
Right.
Yeah. And then on the nights that he can't make it, they'll just call Omar Epps and have him come in and do the studio because he looks just like Mike Tomlin. So there you go.
Right.
God, another major league reference. Thank you very much, Wayne. Anyway. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here.
I got
Derek,
one
thanks for
more
joining
thing
us
to
tonight.
say.
Go ahead, Ken.
I want to shout out to, I think his name is Sylvester Soy, who ran the first sub 2-minute marathon today. The first one to
history, yeah.
ever.
There were two people. There were two runners that did it.
Two runners. The second runner-up also got under
Yeah.
two hours.
That was in the London Marathon. You are correct, sir.
Yep.
Yes.
That is the most significant achievement in track and field in the last 72 years.
Yes.
Since Roger Bannister
Do a sub
broke
2
4
minutes. Do a sub 2 hour marathon.
Yeah. That's unreal. And they
Yeah,
said
it
his last 385 yards, he was picking up speed, so he knew it was close.
God.
That's unbelievable.
I'm envious of that type of speed. I used to do a little bit of distance running in my 20s, and it'd take me an hour to run 5 miles. I mean, a marathon. I'd probably still be running it in my 30s.
I've been running 26 miles in my lifetime. I'm 66.
Right. Yep.
I don't think I've even
That's all I
bicycled
had.
26 miles in my lifetime.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
That's all I
It was a
had.
great show. Again, thanks, Derek, for showing up and doing a recap on the draft. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having
My
me.
best,
A lot of fun.
my
this
best to
week.
the better half as well. Wayne,
Our dog. This is a sports story because our dog competes in dog shows. Became a grand champion this weekend down in Tulsa,
sweet.
Oklahoma. So yeah,
are you going to take me to
Nice.
Westminster now? Is that what you're going to do?
Oh,
I mean
awesome.
maybe they got to send us the
Westminster Dog
invite.
Show.
What's that?
I said Westminster Dog Show, and if you do go, make sure you wear your Packers hat and give us a shout out.
I will. I definitely will.
All right.
Have you guys ever watched the movie Best in Show?
Yeah,
I have.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, dog shows are
That's
exactly
hilarious.
like that.
Yes,
It's
yes.
exactly
Rob-
like that.
You know, rest in peace, Rob Reiner, classic Best in Show.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good
Yes.
movie.
all the Second City alums in that movie. You know, it was hilarious. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I've watched it a number of times. It's one of Amanda's favorite movies. She likes to watch it before she goes to
Talk
bed.
about satire. That's awesome.
Yeah, it reminds me of Waiting because I worked in restaurants, and if you ever watch Waiting, the first time you watch it through, you're like, "Oh, I worked with that person. I worked with that person." That's and that's how it is with this dog show. I mean, like Best in Show, Amanda's like, "Oh, that reminds me of this lady from a dog show." It's the same thing.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. Wayne, good luck on your vacation money search.
Hey, when they say, "Can you substitute for me and take over my class tonight?" I'm like, "Yes, I can."
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And Ken, I hope you feel better, brother. I know you're not feeling well tonight.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
had a little bit of an accident today, so
that's all right.
that's enough said about that.
It's enough said about that. We don't want other gory details.
No.
Regardless,
You don't.
guys, people, we will be back next Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll cover all the playoffs, NBA, NHL. We'll cover baseball, whatever's going on in the NFL, like we always do. And on that note, we're going to get out of here. Again, I want to thank my co-host tonight. And with that being said,